It's all subject, yes, the usability. No. He's reading the assignment. So, what this assignment is you are creating a video presentation based on your an app you choose, and you give a usability study on that. And that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to attach a little in-class usability study after we talk about usability. But really, I just want you to answer the question, does this app demonstrate good or bad usability? So you can talk about a good process that you're experiencing or a poor one. The point of this is research, though, so not just your own opinions. You need to look for online sources, and you need to recruit people to test the app with. Can you take your phone call outside, please? Okay. So only two items need to be submitted: the video file, video presentation, and the slideshow itself. And essentially, you'll be giving the presentation to Karen. Well, not to Karen. Yeah. The process one, you're going to choose an app. It would be a good idea to pick something that has known usability issues. If you can find poor use or your own poor experiences with apps, you could choose one based on that. I've included a template document to give you an idea of what the content of the slide should be. And that's attached below. So the setup, the assignment process is 3 stages: setup, testing, and the presentation itself. Setup is creating your document, choosing your app, creating the document, answering a few questions, doing some quantitative research. Quantitative, so search online for user reviews, comments, or any feedback. The quantitative, this thing quantity, it's not personal primary research. And from this research, you could form your own research question about a process that's difficult. Let's say it's difficult to set up an account using this, or it's difficult to perform the main function of the app. You move on to testing. You're going to test the app yourself and record your own feelings about it, and then test with someone you know, a friend or family to test it. You can do it over Zoom. Just give them that. Try to get feedback from colleagues, family, or friends on the app you have chosen. So this app can be any kind of app. It could be a gaming app, it could be a tablet app, it could be a social media app. And the presentation of this information, I want it into a slideshow. And then you just present the slideshow as a video. You narrate the slide, you talk over your slide. Video presentation, PPT, as was said there already. You do not need to be present yourself. You're going to record your face, although you may choose to do so if you want to show a particular input process. So the video can be voice only, with the screen recording the presentation display. And again, just 2 files. The PowerPoint or whatever slides you use. You can use Google Slides or there's many other things. But I do recommend PowerPoint because it has a built-in function for creating this kind of presentation, as in you can screen record your presentation and record your voice at the same time. And you should have access to PowerPoint with your Outlook, is that true? Yeah, you all have great. And then just grading rubric, I don't split 50-50, but basically the presentation, production, and quality. Approx 5 minutes, but as long as, yeah. And I do have this up here, length 4 to 6 minutes, approximately 5 minutes. PowerPoint, any standard video, you can host online on YouTube also. Why wouldn't that be acceptable? And yeah, PowerPoint or PDF. Length 8 to 10 slides should be about that. So basically a video presentation on one app. Does it have good usability? Does it perform its task well? 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay, let's take the attendance before we move into the other part of the day. Please open your camera up, QR code, yada yada. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody has signed?
Yes.
That's no exactly the character. Okay, everybody has the QR code, yes?
Yeah.
Yes. Wait. So, what is usability? Usability, what is it? You got it. That's exactly it. Usability, ease of use, easy to use, accessibility. You know, accessibility falls under the umbrella term of usability. So what we want to focus on in our design and what you want to be looking for in your video presentation is an easy to use design that anyone can use. And anywhere that it fails on that ease of use, that is a usability problem or issue. Thank you very much. So, good usability gives you clear and concise design that allows the user to know exactly how specific tasks are done. If you think of our Brown design guide last week, good design is honest. It doesn't promise features it cannot deliver on. A good example of bad usability is when you download an app or you buy something and it promises one thing and it doesn't perform. Is that all okay? I know, it's shocking stuff. Usability, whoa, I'm falling out of my chair. But yeah, as was said, usability refers to how easy a product is to use, while user experience refers to the actual experience on using the product. This is Peter Morville's UX honeycomb. It's just a way that UX designers can define the different ways in which an app may pass or fail a usability check. So we decide whether the app is useful. Does it fulfill the task we got the product for? Is it credible? Do we trust it? And there's so many little things that we can do not to trust it. One is not fulfilling the promise. The other is subtle design things or glitchy UI interface things. And they lend itself to the feeling. If something feels not right or it feels cheap, then you'll lose the credibility. Accessibility, yes, is a huge thing. Some crazy statistics, there's like 8 in 20 adult men in the world have some form of color blindness. Do we have any colorblind people in the room? Anyway, yeah. So accessibility in that regard is big, as well as other kinds of accessibility, making something accessible depending on the environment you use it in. Bold colors for something that needs to be used quickly or on the go. Checking your bus timetable, for example, should be brightly colored and accessible to prepare for the adverse weather conditions of being outdoors. Usable. Is it easy to use? This is important because if something is difficult to use, we will abandon it for something that's better and easier. Findable. Is it easy to find the different things you're looking for in the app? So, you're going to be doing a bit of research. Obviously, you're testing for overall usability, but one of your research questions will be, is it easy to find what you're looking for? If you're looking on the Notions app, for example, is it intuitive to figure out how to create events, to create posters, to understand the tools and layouts? And then useful, possibly the biggest one. We rarely get any product just for, well, no, not really. Usually we want our app to have value, and the app should fulfill the main purpose, the main user goal. And all of these things together, usable, findable, accessible, desirable, credible. All work together to add value. Anywhere you can offer the user value, you can enrich their lives, that's the sweet spot in usability. You've made something that's useful, credible, desirable. It's easy to use. People trust it. And therefore it's valuable, because value means money. You've made something successful people want and is useful. So as you're thinking about your apps later, you're looking for how do we figure this out? Think about these different factors. Is it easy to use? Do I trust it? And do I feel like I desire it? Does it give value? Does it fulfill the main purpose? So why does this stuff matter? Because there is a lot of competition, even more than ever. Users will always choose the app or website that's easiest to use and work. So if you create a service with a smooth interaction, make your users happy, make the experience more interesting. Another big factor in considering usability is who is the app for. So what is the user's capability of using the product in terms of human nature, such as short attention span and memory. If you don't give people too much to read, they won't read it. It's kind of like recommended reading lists in college. You've seen them, all those books? 3 books for every single subject. We lecturers understand that nobody's ever really wants to read those books. What? We have to put them there forever. There's also the environmental aspect of where the app is being used. Is this an app designed to be used on public transport, for example? Spotify music apps are designed for on-the-go use. Or is it an app like Notion designed for note-taking, where really you should be sitting down? Nobody's really writing essays while they jog. We also have to consider the user's mental model, their experiences and expectations, their culture. So whoever your user is, you're designing for them. Some examples of bad usability. I want to ask you, do you agree or disagree? The delete message feature. What's that delete message? It deletes the message, but it leaves a little message behind that says, you deleted this message.
Yes.
Therefore, it's
It's
deleted.
Because of it, though,
And then you get a message like, what were you writing at 2 in the morning? What did you say today? Like nothing. Yeah. Agree or disagree?
For click it's okay, but this messages.
Leave the extra message. They have amended this in the last year. You can now edit messages instead of deleting them. So that adds something. So if you make a bad message, you can edit it to something else.
But that's the way, like, it shows that you did a message.
Yeah.
Instead of just showing it, just.
Gone. Just don't care. Yeah, and I haven't included this in my list, but I really feel like you should be able to delete emails after you send them. Say you're angry and you send a message to the bank and they're like, no, you know what? I would really like that feature in emails, just pull it back.
Supposed to make a problem. For the first time, some guy was already sent me from what's the statement?
Yeah. I deleted it, man. Yeah, right. Number 2, and this has become synonymous with all the streaming services now, but the hover autoplay. You hover for a second and you hear a bit of video. Do you feel like this is a good or poor bit of usability? Do you like it, the autoplay?
No.
No. You like it?
Yeah, sometimes I just want to see just a short
Yeah. You see, it always splits the room, half and half. I don't like it. I end up, the second it starts, I'm like,
Yes.
And then I don't think, I can just mute my TV. I can just mute my TV and everything's fine, but I don't think that. I just get angry. Number 3, Ryanair, the booking platform. Have you ever used Ryanair before? Yeah. Are the seats getting smaller or are my knees getting fatter? That's the question.
Soon gonna be standing.
Yeah, standing room, yeah.
Testing out.
I know, and then some people will be standing and other guys will be hanging upside down like bats. And we'll be slotted together.
I will just accept this if the price is like €5 to go to Spain. Hey, I agree. Okay, I don't care.
But then it just keeps the price keeps going up, and then in 15 years you're like, I'm paying €100 to stand for 2 hours?
Yeah. That's what I'm seeing right now.
I want a window seat standing. You want a seat next to the wall so you can lean. That's going to be tough. But anyway, booking on the Ryanair website can give user many small frustrations. They deliberately try and mislead users with something known as dark UX, the dark side of user experience. This is where they use sneaky tactics to boost sales. I'll talk about one that they got caught for, but just last week I got caught by a little trick they use. If you're booking a flight from a different country, I was booking from England, and they say, oh, you can book in sterling, or you have to book in sterling, and we can convert it for you. And I didn't notice a small checkbox that said we don't have to convert it. They give you a higher exchange rate than the actual sterling exchange rate. So through them handling the conversion from sterling to euro, they charge me like €30 more. I know, and they're evil, and it's so sneaky. It is so sneaky. Yeah, have you ever had a bad experience with Ryanair? Thank you. Sometimes rip off. Yeah. Are you sure you don't want to be protected? And they're like, whoa, I do want to be protected. I like the word protection. I want to be protected. And like, you're making it seem like if I don't say this, I'm going to be attacked on the plane. Yeah, if you don't want to buy a seat, we'll put you somewhere else. But they ask you like 4 times. You want a seat? Last chance to get a seat. You don't want to miss out. Sometimes they do other sneaky psychological trips. 18 people have booked seats today. Like, you're not going to fit in with the crowd of people. Dark UX, yeah, they're all over the place. Apple, storage management. Any Apple users? Any iPhone? Yeah. You still have this problem? The problem is, there's not enough space. But the problem is, how much? How much, Apple? They cannot tell you. It's just too much. You just can't. Go away. That's what they're kind of saying. But really, you have to go and start deleting things. That's crazy. Ideally, they just give you, like on Android, 1 gigabyte free. Just to tell you how much. That actually contravenes our Dieter Rams 10 commandments, where you must give, the user should always know what's happening at all times. Visibility of system status, as we were talking about last week. The very long drop down. Sometimes, mostly being replaced with good searchable items, but when you have a very long drop down, you have a country that starts with an or a U, it can be quite frustrating. So ideally, you should be able to search or go for first letter, filter out different things. Most companies don't do this, but occasionally you'll find a really annoying long drop down or a sequence of them. Because it's time consuming, causes frustration. Number 6, the complicated password requirements. So I've seen quite a lot where the website requires the user to create a complicated password. This causes the user more likely to forget them, and the very bad practice of keeping a notepad or taking notes and writing them all down. Okay, I have done this. I have. I put Word documents on my computer with super secret passwords. I'm dying. Hello, hello. Number 7, O2 live chat. This refers to all live chats, especially when you're encouraged to talk to a sales support right now, and you just get very busy. So again, don't promise features you cannot deliver on. If you're promising live chat support and you cannot deliver on it, then don't offer it. Although now we have AI helpers. With no more waiting, you can talk to a robot any time of the day. Fiverr's 5-star display. So, opinions on this one. Do you think the 5-star display should be displayed as a full 5 stars? Or just a single?
I look at more per number.
Yep.
I don't know.
It is actually a big deal, a concern in UI. And certain companies stopped using rating systems for a very good reason, for more engagement. Netflix used to have a rating system, star ratings between 1 and 5. And then what they noticed from their analytical data is that barely anybody rates anything low. People don't bother on Netflix to say, oh, that was crap, I'll give it a 1 star. They only rate it when they like it. They only give 4 stars, 5 stars. When you don't like it, when you finish a movie you don't like, turn it off. I'm not watching that. I wouldn't bother to rate it, to recommend it. So Netflix, in 2017, they switched from their 5-star to a like, up or down, binary up or down. They saw much more engagement because people only rate things when they like them. Similarly for YouTube, the same thing. There was a rating system on videos, and then it just became a mess to try and focus on. No, it wasn't giving you accurate scores because so many people just don't understand the system. Change it to a binary up or down. More people are engaging and clicking that button. So it can make a difference. And then something like this, the visual of it, the fact that you can't scan and instantly see 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5, that can cause a tiny bit of a break. But yeah, it is a consideration. I think both are acceptable. They use this on Deliveroo and Just Eat, this 1-star system, and it works fine for me. But then there's things like TripAdvisor where you're literally scanning. Let's look at TripAdvisor. an article that exactly what I was talking about. The different rating systems drive user engagement. They also enhance our usability. So, in certain regards, something like Booking.com, the 5-star means that we don't really have to focus. We can look at just that color as we're going through 5-star, 5-star, as it goes down. Similarly, something like TripAdvisor, you can pretty quickly see the full 5-star review thing rather than have to count a number. So at a glance, without any reading, you can see the thing. So depending on what type of service, I do think 5 stars is best. Just being able to see quicker build stars, end stars. Anyway, a consideration for your own app, whether to do the 1-star system or the 5-star. 5-star can be faster to digest visually. And yeah, and doesn't require any literacy skills. Some people don't read English or don't read numbers, but they can understand 5-star review norms. Best for predictive content personalization. Yeah, so that's why they were using it for Netflix, and then the algorithm learning what you like and what you dislike works a lot better if you have a thumbs up, thumbs down instead of a 5-star because you want more engagement. So anything where you're giving favorites, if you're trying to figure out your user's favorite preferences, thumbs up, thumbs down would be the better rating. For video on dark patterns. Welcome to Defense Against the Dark Arts.
In this video, I'm going to be talking about dark patterns. A dark pattern is a term used in user experience research to convey methods that websites use to trick you into performing a certain action. They're thoughtfully designed to be imperceivable and hard to detect. Let's walk through some examples of dark patterns. We'll also add a link to the helpful resource darkpatterns.org in the description. The first example of a dark pattern is the bait and switch. This is when customers think that they know what they're doing, such as closing out of a pop-up, but the website will actually do the opposite of that action. You'd expect the X on the top right would stop the download. However, it actually jumpstarts the download process, as opposed to canceling the download.
Evil. This is the evil power you have, by the way, to trick your users.
Forced disclosure is when a website makes you enter sensitive information, such as your credit card, name, address, or any personal information, in exchange for a free or near-free service. A road to motel is when a company makes it extremely difficult to get out of a certain situation. For example, making users call a customer service number to opt out of email communications. In this example, you have to call a number between certain hours just to unsubscribe. Forced continuity is when you sign up for. In this example,
Have you ever experienced a roach motel, cockroach motel? Very easy to open an account, pretty difficult to close one. Ever happened? No? Yeah. You ever sign up for a Vodafone? Ever heard of Vodafone? Three. I had a problem. 3 as well. I had the 3 problem. Sign up on 3 online. One click. Try and close it. You need to come into the shop. You need to bring your phone and the box with the eye in the eye, and there's nothing yet. You have to go in person. But buying it online, we'll deliver to your house. No problem.
Users call a customer service number to opt out of email communications. In this example, you have to.
This example is hilarious if you look at the name of the business. You have to ring on the phone a business that's called stamps.com. The entire business is online. But when you want to close the account, you got to ring.
call or a number between certain hours just to unsubscribe. Forced continuity is when you sign up for a free trial of the service, and at the end of the trial, you're down. In 2015, LinkedIn. Next is friend spam. In 2015, LinkedIn lost a $13 million lawsuit related to this. LinkedIn used to ask you to strengthen your network by inviting your entire book of contacts to LinkedIn via email. It would pre-check all of your contacts and would send an invite from your email. If you
And another part of this that was, because this is the evil side of UX, they're pretending ads to network is just people that are already on LinkedIn will get a little notification. They're actually emailing everybody in your address book. But even better, if someone you invite doesn't respond right away, we'll send up to 2 reminders, which means 3 emails to every single person in your address book. Everybody you ever know, every professional contact, every boss you ever had will get a little thing saying, Seamus wants you to connect on LinkedIn. No, I don't. No, I didn't. That's not what you said. But yeah, trickery, evil.
click the harmless-looking button, Add to your network, you're giving LinkedIn permission to spam every person you've ever emailed. Misdirection attempts to focus your attention on a distracting stimuli. London Zoo is a great example. They highlight the green button as if it's the next step in the checkout process, but it's actually making you get into the zoo. The blue, less conspicuous button is how you can move through the checkout process. Second,
another part of dark UX and usability is how you can use design to trick people. Green is good. Green means go. We read from left to right. You're going forward, aren't you? You don't want to go backwards.
Yeah.
No way. Go backwards and add to my basket without a donation, which is actually going forwards as well. So yeah, design can trick people. And again, in your assignment, if you're looking for usability issues, look for stuff like this.
this conspicuous button is how you can move through the checkout process. Second, for this online shoe company, you think you're checking out as a regular member, but they auto-enroll you in a VIP membership that costs upward of $40. The checkout as a regular member is in tiny text. The next screen is the screen that you enter your credit card. You think you're checking a harmless terms and conditions box, but you're really accepting the terms of the VIP program. Sessions box, the screen that the check.
Again, design trick once more. Larger elements, size, attract more attention. Brightly colored elements attract more attention. This is the largest button on the screen. It is a bright color. Continue checkout. Then over here is how you actually check out. And they also use a little bit of evil language to say, yeah, no thanks. I don't want to save up to 50%. I'm an idiot. It tricks. Trickery. And again, that looks, I accept the terms of the justifiable. That is also charging you €50 a month if you leave that box on. And it's checked on for you already. Not an accident. Not an accident.
Terms of the VIP program. Sneak into the basket is when a company will add extra items into your cart through the use of an opt-out radio button or checkbox on the prior page. In this example, Sports Direct asks if you want the free item, but in the fine print it says, plus €1 for packaging. Another great example of this is Ryanair. They will automatically enroll you in insurance, and you'll have to select Don't Insure Me, which is hidden in the alphabetized country drop-down.
Let's not skip too fast past that one. That is the one they
For
got
packaging.
for, and they were forced to change it, but basically you're on the insurance page, you're picking insurance plus. The only way you can continue without insurance is to say, I'm from the country, don't insure me. I'm a don't insure Menian. I live in between Denmark and Finland. That is evil, evil stuff. They got caught, they didn't get fined. They just said, oh, accident. That website designer's been fired. Yeah.
Select Don't Insure Me, which is hidden in the alphabetized country drop-down. Confirm shaming is when a website guilts you into opting into something, for example, a newsletter. In this example, the company is shaming you by saying, no, I don't want more knowledge, so you feel as though you have to subscribe to their email service, since you're missing out on getting smarter. Disguised advertising is when companies run advertisements that look like a download button, tricking users into clicking on the ads rather than getting the thing they really wanted. Preventative price comparison is when companies don't want people to compare two items or figure out the price of one unit in a bundle. In this example, you can't compare the two bags of apples because it doesn't show you the price of one unit. Bad language. In this example, you're extremely confused by what action to take to cancel your order.
Yeah, so basically the language the way they're written is, if you read it out, it sounds crazy. Are you sure you want to cancel the order? You'll not be able to retrieve it later. Click OK to cancel order. Click cancel to return to your order. So essentially you're saying, click cancel to cancel your cancel. Click cancel to cancel your cancel. Click OK to OK your cancel. Trickery. And you don't have to go very far to find examples of dark UX. Once you start looking for it, and especially as you're coming up to Christmas, you're going to see a lot of tricks and attempts to get more money out of you. I was shopping last night and I noticed a very small one, but I was buying a piece of Crycut software, two little checkboxes. This one, I have to check because I agree to the terms of use. This one, confusing language, but kind of nice. We're here to support you along the way with coupons, free info, DIY project tutorials, and more. Meaning, they're going to spam my email address and send me a lot of crap. But how confusingly written is that? Again, nothing is an accident in UI design. It's all designed by people like us to get more and more out of it. One more short video. Anyone have an Amazon account?
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to close it?
No.
Well,
Yeah.
Dark patterns are features of interface design crafted to trick users into doing things that they might not want to do, but which benefit the business in question. Here's an example. Have you ever tried to delete your Amazon account? Here's the Amazon homepage. What's the first thing you might think to do? The obvious place to look is the account dropdown here. Once you're in here, you look around, it's a lot of information, but if I'm interested in deleting my account, I think that your account is probably a good place to go. Once I'm on this page, there's a lot more information. Payment options, login and security, and a bunch of stuff down here. Unfortunately, you could click every link on your account page, but none would deliver you to a place where you could actually delete it, because it's not here. In order to actually delete your Amazon account, you have to go all the way down to the bottom of the page, and under Let Us Help You, click Help. Once you're in here, you have to navigate to Need More Help, because putting it on this page would just be too easy. Then click Contact Us. This is where it starts to get ridiculous. It's still nowhere to be seen, but of the 4 options on the top that you want help with, click Prime or something else. You want the something else. In this, tell us more about your issue dropdown. There's still nothing that suggests account deletion. You just have to know to click Login and Security. And then in a second dropdown, there it is, the magic button, Close My Account. Except in order to actually do that, you now have to have a chat conversation with an Amazon associate who's going to tell you all the reasons account deletion is a bad idea. See, you can't delete the account yourself. They have to do it for you. This is a dark pattern, a crappy user experience that intentionally makes it difficult, almost impossible without help, to do something that hurts Amazon. UX specialist Harry Brignall categorizes this specific kind of dark pattern as a roach motel, a design that makes it very easy for you to get into a situation, but very hard to get out. Brignall is actually the one who coined the term dark pattern in 2010, and he's been cataloging and lecturing about the issue ever since. Many of these dark patterns we're all familiar with. I only have to search my email for a few seconds to find one. For example, here, I'm getting spam emails from Architectural Digest. I scroll down and look at that. This is a mess, but it's a mess on purpose. The unsubscribe link is here, but it's devilishly hard to...
Hard to see. Can you see it? Unsubscribe button right there. Can you see it? It's not like they're hiding it from you or anything. There it is. That's your link.
See. That's because it's the same font and virtually the same color as the rest of the fine print. Here's another dark pattern that uses color to misdirect. Over at the user testing blog, Jennifer Jerome points out that the mobile game Two Dots carries you through the experience by offering green buttons. A green button to start the game, a green button to pick a level, a green button to start the level, and 3 green buttons to continue to the next level, and so on. But once you lose a level, the color scheme changes. The first green button you see leads you right to an in-app purchase, while the continue button is just a little X that blends into the larger element. I wonder how many people click buy moves reflexively as a Pavlovian response. Now, to be fair, this is a pretty benign dark pattern, but it shows how companies can use something as simple as color to trick you into doing what they want. On the more egregious end of the spectrum, you have stuff like this banner ad for Chatmost, which is made to look like it has a speck of dust on it, causing people to brush it away and accidentally click the link. Or you have sites like Booking.com, where they do everything in their power to increase the urgency of a purchase, going so far as to alert you in big red notifications of the hotel rooms that you just missed. I mean, you better book now. You don't want to be left behind again, do you? Every once in a while, a company goes a little too far and actually breaks the law. Remember when you used to get spam with all those LinkedIn invites from friends? Well, that was because of a confusing dark pattern on their Add Contacts page, which allowed LinkedIn to scoop up people's email contacts and send them messages repeatedly without their consent. In a comprehensive blog post, Dan Schlosser showed how LinkedIn tried to trick users 8 times in their sign-up and onboarding procedures into surrendering their email contacts. Unfortunately for LinkedIn, this proved to be a step too far. Users filed a legal challenge claiming that sending multiple unwarranted emails hurt their professional reputation. LinkedIn settled the dispute for $13 million, which came out in the end to about $10 per user. It's rare for dark patterns to face consequences like these. Mostly they stay just on the right side of the law, understanding that it's hard to legislate around the psychological tricks of UX design. Everything on the internet is fighting for your attention, but there's a difference between those who are taking the time to build trust and loyalty and the special offer you clicked which actually enrolled you in a monthly subscription, or the social network that dark patterned you into letting it sell data that you didn't even know it had. Some of the responsibility is on us, but some is on design too. And it's not the fault of the designers, they're just doing what they're tasked to do, knowing full well that if they don't, others will. As Brignall says, our best defense against the dark patterns is to be aware of them and shame the companies who utilize them. Design is what mediates our interaction with the internet. It's the language we read it in. It's not too much to ask that that language be comprehensible and honest.
So yes, lots of ways you can trick users. The color one is pretty egregious. Green means good, green means next level, green means go. Then you lose a level, green means spend money. Yeah. So Pavlovian response, Pavlov's dogs on the bell. Ding! The dogs are salivating. So all of that acts as a primer for what we're going to be doing after our short break. Which is a little usability challenge. So this is a team task. We're going to do groups of 3 or 4. and I want you to basically identify the usability issues, or if there are any, just give me an appraisal of the usability of one app through your own research. A little chance to basically a primer, a little test run for your actual presentation. You can get some ideas of what kind of tests you can do. We'll need, obviously, your laptops or phones, document to share. And then basically it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, ending in a short presentation where we just get your feedback on each one. So, we'll take care of that after the break. Okay, early break. Let's take a short break now, cup of tea, cup of coffee, and we'll come back and do some usability. And just so you know, I have recorded this part of the lesson, so all of my run through the assignment, it will be in a recording on Moodle later today. Everything in the lesson.